So how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Gotham Knights video. Now for today's video, things are going to get a little controversial because we have some good news and we have some bad news in regards to Gotham Knights. So I'm going to start us off with the good news and sort of ease us into the bad news. So for the first bit of news, it was announced today that Gotham Knights is going to be having a new Hero Assault game mode. Now this mode is going to be separate from the story mode, and this is going to be a 4-player co-op experience. And they announced it's going to be coming out November 29th. So that gives you enough time to play the game, you know, beat the story, find a lot of collectibles, maybe play through it again with the different characters. That gives you a whole month to enjoy the single player. And then if you want to jump into multiplayer with 3 other people, you can do that in this Heroic Assault game mode. Then they answer a little bit more questions on the website. One of the questions is, will Gotham Knights have a multiplayer mode? Yes, Gotham Knights can be played with a friend via the 2-player online and cooperative co-op mode, or enjoyed solo at launch. On November 29th, the game will add Heroic Assault, a standalone mode supporting up to 4 players in online co-op. And then what is Heroic Assault mode? Heroic Assault is an upcoming gameplay mode that is separate from the main story campaign. The standalone mode supports up to 4 players in online co-op and provides a dedicated arena-like environment with specific objectives to complete and enemies to defeat on each floor, 30 floors total. So it sounds to me like it's kind of like a horde mode, or maybe comparable to the Hives in the Marvel's Avengers game. If you didn't know, in the Marvel's Avengers game, they had these Hive missions where it was just floor after floor after floor and just waves of enemies, and it was a really boring and repetitive mode, and it was mainly just more loading screens than there was actual combat. So let's hope it's not like that, and let's hope that it's more of a horde mode. But the fact that it's 4-player co-op and it's going to be using all 4 of the characters, and I'm guessing you can probably change your different outfits and stuff, it sounds like it could be a cool mode. I'm down for horde modes, especially in superhero games, because I just love playing as superheroes and just defeating waves and waves of enemies. I think that's a cool idea, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But that does it for the good news, and now we're going to start to ease you into the bad news. So also up on their website, there's a couple more questions. Does Gotham Knights support local co-op? And the answer is no. Co-op mode can only be played online with an internet connection. So unfortunately, if you have a friend or a brother or a sister or somebody and you wanted to play in person, unfortunately you can't do that. You have to have a second console and an internet connection. Which brings up the next question, which is pretty similar, and it's, will Gotham Knights support crossplay for online co-op? I've seen this question asked a lot in my comment section, and the answer is crossplay support is not planned at this time. So that's pretty unfortunate. That's a thing that we've kind of gotten used to in modern gaming. Pretty much every game now is letting you do crossplay with PC, Xbox, PlayStation. So unfortunately, you can't do that. If you have it on PC, you have to play with other PC people, and if your friend's on Xbox, then I guess you're just out of luck because there isn't going to be any crossplay. So that was the first bit of bad news. Now the second batch of bad news is what caused a lot of drama. There's a lot of people pretty upset about this, and it's that one of the producers for the game announced this on Discord today because there was a lot of questions about the console frames per second. They announced the specs for PC, but they didn't announce anything for console, and a lot of the fan base was thinking that they were being kind of shady and they just didn't want to reveal it. So they officially announced today. They said, hello everyone, I know many of you are wondering about the availability and performance mode for Gotham Knights on consoles. Due to the types of features we have in our game, like providing a fully untethered co-op experience in our highly detailed open world, it's not as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher FPS. For this reason, our game does not have a performance mode / quality toggle option and will run at 30 FPS on consoles. So this understandably made a lot of people very angry. As soon as she announced this, the Discord was just complete chaos. At one point, it was trending on Twitter because so many people were angry about this. On Reddit, there's just tons of people complaining on Reddit, and rightfully so, because normally when it comes to consoles, games are normally held back for the Xbox One and the PS4. It's happened for a bunch of other games, and then they'll eventually release like a next-gen update. For example, it happened with Cyberpunk, and companies were sort of making that transition from, you know, the Xbox One and the PS4 to the next generation, and with that came you know, better performance. Everyone that's got a next-gen console at this point has gotten used to 60 frames per second. That's kind of the standard now. It's 2022, the PS5 and the Series X are basically mini PCs, so most new games will run in 60 frames per second. But in this case, Gotham Knights isn't getting released on the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's a current gen only title, so it will not be available on the Xbox One or the PS4. So this has a lot of people really confused because the Xbox Series X version and the PS5 version is $70, but the PC version is still only $60, but it has a higher FPS count. So you get a better version of the game for PC and it costs you less money than on consoles. So rightfully so, this has made a lot of people pretty angry. For example, you have this tweet: when you spend $95 on Gotham Knight Deluxe Edition at 30 FPS when you could have gotten it cheaper on PC at 60 FPS. Me right now. Then we have this tweet: pass, sorry, days of 30 FPS only games died for me the day the Series X and the PS5 released. Then we have this funny tweet: when you found out Gotham Knights might be locked to 30 FPS and you still gotta pay $70 for it. Then up next we have Skill Up, who's a pretty big YouTuber who does a lot of reviews and stuff. He said Gotham Knights is a current gen only title, but will be capped at 30 FPS on console. That's a bummer. So yeah, it's definitely not looking good. This has made a lot of people angry, and this is probably going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people, especially on console. Because like I said, why spend more money and get a lesser product than someone on PC who spends less money and gets a better product? It just doesn't make sense if you're a console player. And I don't know if a lot of people realize just how important 60 frames per second is to a fighting game. In Gotham Knights, you're going to have to be doing a lot of fighting and dodging and watching out for explosions and flying projectiles and all kinds of stuff. And you have to time your dodge at the exact moment of when there's an attack coming at you. And if it's in 30 frames per second, it's going to be a lot more difficult than if it's in 60 frames per second. That's going to lead to you getting hit a lot more of the time, versus if it was in 60 frames per second, your reaction time would be a little bit faster. But that's basically going to do it for the news, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section down below. Is this a deal breaker for you, or do you just not even care and you're going to get the game anyway? I know I'm going to get the game, but now I'm definitely considering getting it on PC instead of getting it on my Series X. And let me know what you guys think about that price difference. I mean, a $10 difference in price, but the PC version is obviously superior. Let me know what you guys think about that. But that is going to do it for this video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. That way you guys stay up to date on all things Gotham Knights. And that is going to do it for me, everyone, and I will talk to you all in the next video.